Good afternoon. Welcome to the Clackamas County 4-H Horse Fair here in Canby, Oregon. My name is Wendy Hein. I'm one of the experts with Extension Horses, and my assignment is here in Oregon, and I work with the 4-H Youth Development Program. Today I'm going to show you the trail course for our ranch horse program. So Oregon is an interesting state. We have a wet side and a dry side of the state. And on the wet side of the state, if you're a horse owner, you probably need a covered indoor arena if you're going to ride all year. And we have many youth who really enjoy arena riding. If you live on the eastern side of the state, it's much drier, and there's a good chance that you might live on a working cattle ranch. What we found is that while some youth really enjoy the traditional arena activities like equitation and showmanship, others, it's not their thing. They're used to using their horses for real ranch work. So faculty in Oregon, as well as volunteers, put together the Oregon Ranch Horse Program. And as far as I know, it's unique to Oregon and our Pacific Northwest culture. So the Ranch Horse Program has 6 different classes, and I'm going to tell you about the trail class today. So many people are familiar with the traditional arena trail class and the obstacles involved. In Ranch Horse Trail, we emphasize more natural obstacles that you might find on an actual trail or while riding around a rural property. So I'm going to show you some of these. We're going to walk through the course that we use today. So first, we'll take a look at our pattern here. This is the pattern for our oldest group. So you can see there was a bridge, a water obstacle, several walkthroughs, dallying, and some scary things to walk past. So let's take a look at each of these obstacles in turn. The first thing we have here is a bridge. But you'll notice that unlike an arena trail where we usually just have a bridge, there's a lot of brush that's on this one. So that makes it a little trickier for the horses because a lot of them try and eat the brush. And also they might have to walk around some of it. So the successful rider brings their horse up and over this bridge. Next obstacle is the water box. This has become sort of an icon in our county. Our volunteer coordinators, Cindy and Randy Lake, do a great job of making sure the water box is available for practice. So most of our members have had a chance to see it before the fair. So a new feature this year is we actually have flowing water. So you can probably hear that in the video. But there's an actual fountain here attached to our water box. So it's emulating a real stream as much as you can in the middle of our fairgrounds. I like, as you can see, that they've flanked it on either side. So this side has got some tall brush. This other side has some pokey dried shrubs to help encourage the horses to take the best course right through the middle. Also, as we take a look at this, you can see we've done some effort here to make it safe. So they've added a non-slip surface in the middle to make sure it's safer for the horses. And you know, it adds a little bit of depth perception too. If horses see a dark pool and they can't see the bottom, that really upsets them. They don't like to go through those kinds of water boxes. All right, next obstacle is to cross over this log and head over to these 2 barrels. So you can see we have a post here, and it's already attached to a rope. So if we go back to our pattern, we can see that the member was supposed to pick up the rope, dally it around the saddle horn, which means you wrap the rope around the saddle horn to be able to drag it. Now for the junior members, they only had to drag the rope, drag the post from one barrel to the other. For the senior members, they had to dally and then drag it in a figure 8 around both barrels. That's a tricky skill. Dallying is something that takes some practice with your horse. A lot of horses are a bit upset by having things tied to them and following them, so it has to be practiced. The next barrel over here we have a hide. A hide is something that to us humans doesn't seem that scary, but can really upset some horses. There's some smells associated with it. They sometimes think it's a dead animal. So it makes a great obstacle. Again, the younger members just had to pick it up, but the older members actually had to pick it up and carry it to another barrel. And now I'm going to show you my favorite part of this course. The next step on the course was to walk past this horse skeleton. Now, it's a fake skeleton, I'll tell you that right now. I have no idea where our volunteers came up with it, but it is amazing. So it's here in the brush. And you know, I can imagine if you were out riding in the range that you might very well come across some sort of animal carcass. So the horses were supposed to walk past this calmly, and from what I hear, there was some challenge with that. And in fact, you can see some evidence here. So we've got some manure piles, so these were probably literally scared out of a few horses as they passed by this horse skeleton and by the second barrel. All right, just 2 more obstacles to go here in our ranch horse trail class. Again, we're here at the Clackamas County 4-H Horse Fair in Oregon. So next was this log pile to walk through. And you can see they've carefully chosen some logs that weren't going to be too harmful or roll around too much, but the horse would need to be a little careful about where it puts its feet to navigate through this pile. We move to a gate. And for this class, they actually had members dismount. So sometimes you go through a gate while mounted, but this is actually one to walk your horse through while dismounting. And as you can see, what's kind of tricky about this gate is it's not, you can see it's falling over on me. It's the kind of homemade kind of gate that you might find on an actual property, right? So it's a plastic panel here. So members would have to be a little careful about making sure they get a good hold on it. Could be a little tricky to operate one-handed with your horse. So walking through the gate, opening and closing. And then we have this trailer here. So the last thing that members had to do was come up to the trailer. Again, they're already dismounted at this point, and tie to the side of the trailer. Now, all the members knew the pattern in advance and had already been given the tip that they needed to show up to this class with a halter and lead already on their horse. This is pretty common when you're riding on the trail or around the ranch to have a halter and lead so that you can easily tie your horse. Of course, most of our viewers probably know you never tie a horse by the reins and the bit. It's unsafe and they can really hurt their mouths if you do that. So be prepared if you're out and about to have that halter and lead ready. And again, I'll give you a pan view here of all the obstacles in our course. And as I said, this was a little challenging for our riders, but does include some really lifelike obstacles. So I'm excited about the ranch horse program in Oregon. And I will make sure and post a link to our ranch horse project guide and contest manual in the comments in case anyone wants to take a look. Thanks for tuning in to extensionhorses.org. Again, this was Wendy Hein with Oregon State University.